In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the challenges of raising a son in fatherhood. What are they? What are these challenges? Well, there's a number of areas that I want to explore, and those areas are emotional development, social expectations, role modeling, and guiding behaviors. These are all areas that us fathers need to train our sons and give them the right tools, otherwise they will go astray. And we have to help them navigate through life, from the transitions from being a boy to a man. And the only way that the son can learn what it is to become a man is by you as a father, us as fathers, being that role model, that turn to guy, that turn to dad, that I can turn to my dad for guidance. So when it comes down to raising sons, there are challenges, and the challenges first it starts off with is a communication issue between the father and the son. As the son is growing up, he wants to do his own thing. He wants to make decisions by himself, but sometimes those decisions can not be well thought out, and the decision could be misguided or blinded. He's making decisions without actually thinking properly, without actually analyzing properly. And this is where you come in as a father. This is where we come in, as fathers. We're there to sort of help them, guide them, assist them, give them different perspectives, give them our wisdoms to make an effective decision. Because ultimately, at some point, they will make a decision by themselves, but we have to give them the tools. We can't just let them wander blindly now, can we? So there's those types of communications to think about. The other thing that I want to bring to your attention is the pressures of the peer pressure, the societal pressures of friends and what they see on the social media platforms, what they're exposed to, of what an ideal man and masculinity is meant to look like. Well, guys, fathers, quite frankly, what an ideal man or what it is to be masculine is going to come from you, and it has to come from you. You have to represent, you have to carry yourself, conduct yourself well. And the way that you conduct yourself well is, yes, you will fall, you will falter, you will fail at some things, but it's how you pick yourself up, how you brush things off and continue the struggle, and how you make amends and take accountability and be responsible, and your reactions. These are the things that are going to make a man, and he's going to see that from you. He's going to see that from me and you, rather than what society is conditioning and telling him to be like. So there's these pressures that we have to be mindful of. Understand what is going on around in society, understand trends. So as fathers, we have to investigate and do our due diligence in terms of what is my son being exposed to, what kind of vices, what is influencing him. Because if we don't take part in our son's relationships, his social environments, his social environments in terms of on the internet, social environments in terms of real life people, we have to know what is going on. Because if we don't know what's going on, we become uneducated, and we won't know how to guide them, because we don't know what is happening inside here. We're not tuning in. This is what I'm trying to say. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the emotional side of things. So there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of tests and challenges our sons will go through. And when he's going through a hard time, a challenging time, and he's turning to you, how do you react? How do you respond? And judging by your words and your tone of voice and the way you carry yourself and you respond to his challenges or his troubleshooting problems, would either build confidence or destroy his confidence. And depending on how you respond, you can either give him the life skills, the courage and the confidence to continue, to navigate the challenges, to look for answers, or you can break him. You can shout at him. You can ridicule him. You can be sarcastic, patronizing. You can put him down. So you have to be careful of how you are coming across as a father. I'll give you my personal example. Sometimes I'm doing something. My attention is somewhere else, and my son just randomly comes up to me and wants something. He wants attention to impress me. He wants to show me something, what he's drawn, for example, or what he's done. And I could be caught up doing something, and I may not give him that attention at that time. But enough of those experiences is gonna make him withdraw from me, because he's gonna be like, well, my dad keeps on ignoring me. He doesn't give me the attention that I need, and because I'm not getting the attention that I need, I'm gonna look for it elsewhere, because I've lost confidence in my dad. I've lost the guidance from my dad. I've lost the courage to navigate life, and I've lost him giving me the tools, the essential tools that I need to carry myself out in life, because my dad weren't there for me. So therefore he's gonna be misguided, and he's gonna be guided by other people, other peer groups in his in society. So this is how challenging it is. We have to be alert as fathers. We have to engage. We have to interact with our sons if we want to raise them properly. And this is how you have open communication. When they come to you, what's the matter, son? What's up? Yeah, you're going through that? Okay. Be there, give them guidance, but don't tell them necessarily what to do, because it could be coming across like you're dictating. So you need to find the fine line between dictatorship and giving them suggestions, advice, and information and tools. You have to do things indirectly. This is what I've learned from personal experience. My son is only 13 years old, my eldest son, and he wants to do things himself. And when I have tried to give him the solutions to answers, he doesn't always want it, because it's coming from my expertise and my experience, but he wants to figure things out for himself. So that made me realize, okay, actually, I've got to give him advice indirectly. I've got to give suggestions rather than telling him what to do. And my communication style had to change. I had to listen more and talk less. There's also a stereotype of masculinity, what masculinity is meant to be in terms of social conforming. So society will tell you what masculinity looks like, what it should be, how you should carry yourself, how you should be, what you should achieve. You need to achieve X amount of things. You need to be a person of such great stature. These are all the societal expectations that we have to be mindful of our son being indoctrinated by these ideas. And what does success and achievement mean? If society is telling him what does success and achievement means, that is going to dent his confidence, because he's not learned what real success, what achievement really means from me and you. He has to learn it from his father, the true definition of it. So, one of the things in open communication is to allow your child, your son, to be vulnerable around you. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It's all part of being masculine. But you need to be vulnerable around the people who you can trust and respect. Not just anyone, because they can take advantage of your vulnerability. So these are the types of things that we need to teach our sons. It's all right, son. You can open up to me. You can turn to me. I got your back. You know? And the only way that he's going to open up to you is by you having an open relationship with your son, an open communication. Make it easy. We have to make it easy for our sons to be able to turn to us. And we have to foster that through our relationships that we have with our son or sons. And the way to do that is to set the example, is to be the example, be the role model, be that figure where he can turn to. Also, as the father, we need to set down some boundaries, rules, regulations. There has to be a balance, and this balance is a lifelong process. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're not always gonna be on point with things, but you can adjust, you can refine, and this is what we have to do. So in hindsight, there's a few things that I want to leave you guys with. Is this: we need to educate ourselves in terms of what's happening around in society, so we can equip our sons for the right type of guidance and information that they need to have to turn into a man, from a boy to a man. That's the first one. The second one that we need to do is to build quality relationships with our sons. Actually actively be involved in their life, actively have more and more conversations on all kind of subjects. Take time in bonding with them, take time in trying to understand and figure them out, find out what they like, what they don't like, rather than brushing them away because we're too distracted. If we don't do these two things, we're going to lose our sons, and they're not going to become from boys to men.